I'm delighted to be joined over the phone now by, a man who would have a very attractive name, I would like to say. I may be slightly biased. And he is part of a band that, while the rest of us were taking it easy during the COVID times, catching up on maybe some of that sleep that we've deserved, some of that time off, the lads were working extra hard. It's Adam Rooney from the band N.O.A.H. How are you, Adam?
Good. How are you, Adam?
Oh, look, it's wonderful. It's just such a beautiful thing to be called Adam as well, isn't it? It's a privilege.
It's great hearing it back.
Yeah. Well, look, we'll get right into the good stuff. So it's Adam, Ryan and Ronan, and I found out that you are lifelong best friends. So I want to find out how, after a lifelong of friendship, did you just decide, you know what, we're going to get into this band scene, we're going to rock it, and then why the name N.O.A.H?
So we've been playing in a band together for years and years. So I was in the same primary school as the lads, and I was in the same class as Ronan, our drummer, and it just sort of happened to be like that we were the only ones in the class, well, a handful of us that were into the same sort of music, We sort of bonded over that. Then as our teenage years progressed, we were playing in a band and a few different versions and stuff like that. We were the three members, Ryan, Ronan and myself, we're going quite serious as another band. But then it's about 2 years ago now that we met our manager, and we decided to, give it a proper go as adults now, and probably a cleaner slate on people's inboxes as well.
Yeah.
So they're not getting all these spam emails from our old band. But we decided to give it a go, and then I don't know, N.O.A.H really clicked because we sort of we liked, and it's just a really, I don't know, probably a bit too pretentious, but in the big metaphor of starting again and everything like that, and it's a nice short name, and I don't think people are going to forget it.
No, for sure, it definitely works. I mean, there is an Indonesian rock band or something out there called N.O.A.H as well. They also showed up in the
life.
But look, you can't win them all, but I still love the name, and I do love the meaning of it. Absolutely, I think it's a great, the whole N.O.A.H and the Ark. It's a great new beginnings and all that. Coming from the three-piece, right? And this is what I'd really love to know: how do you get such a wide sound? Because I mean, there are only three members, so who obviously is knows a lot more instruments, or do you all just know every instrument? You said Ronan is the drummer. What about yourself and Ryan?
So myself and Ryan. So me and my Ryan.
It's all right.
We're quite, over the past few years, we've been just sort of getting better at producing, and I suppose I've taken up learning how to play guitar and piano and keyboards and stuff. And I think it's sort of just been a bit creative when it's coming to writing songs. I don't think you need to necessarily know how to be amazing at, say, keyboard, but if you're proficient enough and you know your theory, you can sort of play whatever, and sometimes the less you know, the better. So when we play, we use a lot of backing track, so it's sort of the way you two would do it. As you said, we are a small band, there's only three of us on stage, so sonically it'd pretty much be near impossible unless we were to go get more members, which, I mean, ideally that's it. Eventually, as we get further into our career, we want to have more people on stage.
Of course.
I love the look of looking at someone like Bruce Springsteen, where you have there's 10 people on stage.
Yeah.
Vibing out to it. So at the moment, their computer is helping us out. Some songs I might play keyboard, some I might play the bass or stuff like that. But it really depends on the song. But yeah, it's a lot of it just being experimenting, becoming more knowledgeable producers, sort of upskilling ourselves in that way. And I think synths and stuff are cool. So
yeah, amen.
Definitely a bit of a nerdy vibe that way.
I have to say, probably one of the hardest things that you'd have to do, as you say, as you produce yourselves. For me personally, I find that sometimes it can be a very difficult road bump, because you could listen to that same song quite literally 1,000 times, and eventually you nearly need fresh ears on just to be look, how does this sound? How is this? But yet you seem to succeed so much at it. And I'd love to go back to what you said there about your manager, and you don't need to go into specifics, names or anything like that, but how was it that you were discovered by this manager?
So we met Shay. It was really out of the blue, really. We had, as I said, we had an old band, and we really were pushing it, So we had Facebook ads of us running, and we're doing it was a live performance video. And basically he just saw a live performance video on Facebook feed and said, oh, these guys sound really good. I want to have a chat with them. And then I met with him in person over coffee one day, and I think he sort of just like he liked the ambition and the desire that we have, because we're quite like, I don't know, we either say like we're extremely delusional or we are really driven, because it's the only thing we really have going for us, and it's the only thing we ever really wanted to do since we've been 13. But he sort of latched onto our drive, and it went from there, really, you know. So it was potluck. Like,
I mean, you say luck, but you were obviously good enough, you sounded good enough, and you were able to do a production good enough that when you put it out online, somebody saw it and heard it and was like, do you know what, I'm going to take this on. So, you know, definitely kudos to you guys for doing that. And I wanted to say, it is crazy from just going there. I mean, that was 2020 when you kind of did this rebranding under N.O.A.H and really came out, and you know, you released your debut album Shine. You then brought out the EP Echoes of the Night, a fantastic EP, by the way. That was in 2021, and so like it just seems in such a small, short amount of time you've been signed with a major UK agency. You've supported the likes of the Coronas. You're selling out wherever you go. You just had a tour this year. I mean, in the space of 2 years, how have you felt like as an artist, looking back now on what you've achieved in such, granted, yeah, it's been a long time for you, but in the space of 2 years, achieving so much?
Yeah. Oh, look, we know we're extremely lucky. I do realise, like, as when you are like the artist itself, like you are, like you're the band moving along your timeline, like there is gaps and stuff between when you're doing stuff. There's a lot of on periods. And then when you're off for like a week or two, and it's like it's harder to like, you know, look back and go, that was amazing, or experience it at the time, because you're just sort of like so eager to get on to the next thing. But when you say things back like that, you go, wow, that we've done an awful lot, like, and it's been pretty amazing. So honestly, we're super grateful for the opportunity we've been given. But like, as you said, as a young developing artist, we're always like striving for more. So we never really get caught up in anything that we've done. So it's like, it's only when you look back at things, you're like, oh yeah, that actually was pretty cool. If you were to say to me 2 years ago, you do all of this and it's all going to happen in the next 2 years, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. Yeah. But just because I think it comes in like little drips, and you're like, it slowly starts becoming normal, and then you're like going, oh, we're playing Electric Picnic, but you're like, yeah, but I'd love to play a bit later in the day. Yeah. And you're like, hold on, like, you're playing Electric Picnic, so it's like you gotta keep that sense of mind as well, you know? Yeah,
exactly. You got to be thankful and appreciate what you're getting.
Yeah.
Because as you say, you can get complacent. Like, success suddenly becomes normal, and then suddenly you're seeking more success. But look, you guys have the drive, you have the hunger, and it's good to hear a bit of humbleness in you. You know, you're very humble with how you go about it, and it's nice that you're able to ground yourselves. And it's good that, as you say, lifelong friends, obviously you can say things to each other that if you were just like work colleagues in music, maybe you wouldn't be able to say. So it sounds like a total fun adventure. And speaking of a fun adventure, I want to talk about your latest single, Stay Here, the indie synth pop track. How did you come up with this? Because I think it sounds brilliant.
Do you know the intro of the song, like spooky bit?
Yeah.
Ryan had sent like a voice note of him singing it out. It was like just like a wild we put in our Facebook Messenger group with like a load of other ones.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like, so I picked it out, and then we sort of developed it from there. So I had sort of developed the verses and the chorus. And then when it was time to come to the studio, Ryan had like the vocal and the melody already arranged, but we had sort of wanted to do it a bit different. So like a lot of the time we'd keep going back and forth, and as you did say, like the more you listen, you lose a bit of excitement nearly every time you listen. So what we said was like, okay, I'll get the music ready, you get the melody and the song, like the words ready, and we just won't show each other until we're in the studio. And essentially that's what we did. And then, like, when we're in the studio, then it's a bit more like play. It's like a bit more like a kid. You're more spontaneous. You feel more creative, and we're bouncing off ideas more because it was fresh. It was the first time we've heard it. Yeah, it was pretty organic. Like, it was the typical bedroom producer to then go into the studio, because for vocals, sometimes it's probably best to go because that's like the clarity of the song. So we went to one of our friends, his name's Keen Sinnott, so he helped vocal produce the track. But yeah, that's how it happened. Like, it was pretty, like all over in 24 hours, you know.
Yeah.
The song was pretty much done.
I really like that. That's actually a very, like, as you say, a very organic way to go about the recording process. I can't say that I've ever thought of that. Kind of bringing a surprise and you're all kind of like, ooh, what did you bring kind of a thing. Yeah, there's definitely that bit of excitement to it as well. But I mean, look, this is where you are now. We've talked about where you come. Where's N.O.A.H going next? What's on the scene?
Yeah. So we've a lot coming up now, which we're thankful for. We're part of Ireland Music Week this year. So
congratulations.
We're playing on the 7th of October. At 8:30 in the Grand Social. So for people that don't know, Ireland Music Week is like Ireland's official showcase and industry week for up and coming artists. So there's like 50 artists from the country, and they take part in basically performance and then like these industry nights and sort of like in big huge networking events essentially. But it's open to the public as well, so if you buy a ticket to see us, you get to see like all other 50 acts over the weekend. So like it's like a mini festival happening in Dublin. So if you're interested in that, you can go get tickets on Ireland Music Week. After that, we are doing Irish and UK tour. So we're playing over in England, Manchester and London. And then we have our headline downstairs show at Whelan's on the 8th of December. So you can get tickets on Ticketmaster.ie for that.
Nice. Oh, downstairs in Whelan's is such a good spot. Yeah. God, it's a rocking place. Thank you so much for taking the time, Adam. Before we let you go, where can we find all of N.O.A.H? Where can we find you? It's
just N.O.A.H_official_band. So N.O.A.H official band. Make sure you don't go to the Indonesian one. Honestly, I'm telling you, like the amount of messages we're getting, like threats to go get rid of your band name now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jeez. But look, sure, you're going to be untouchable in every sort of way exceptionally soon if you aren't already. So look, it'll be your people calling them directly. You don't need to worry about that anymore now very soon, Adam. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us, Adam. Up and up for N.O.A.H. So excited to see, and look, best of luck with the Ireland Music Week and especially the Irish and UK tour. It's going to be amazing, no doubt.
Cheers. Thanks a million, Adam. Really appreciate it.